So let's actually think about the stability of various objects and various shapes of various objects, and let's actually think about which one of them is going to be most stable and which of them is going to be the least stable. So you're given some various shapes here. You can see the center of masses are also provided, which are not exactly calculated. I've just I just estimated the center of masses that they would be lying around somewhere here and just sketch them there, and which actually makes perfect sense because center of mass needs to be right around the center of these regular shaped objects, and it's not a problem to actually predict the center of mass of a regularly shaped object. So you can first of all try to pause the video and think about which of these uh, objects is going to be the least stable of all, and you can think of the stability in a way if you just apply some force on top of the buildings, for example, and if they're more susceptible to falling or toppling over, then they're going to be less stable, right? So you can just pause the video and think about it, which one of them is going to be least stable. So I hope you paused the video and thought about this, and it was not really tough. The least stable of all these buildings is going to be this cube over here, the first cube. And the reason that this is going to be least stable is that because I'm actually kidding. This is not going to be the least stable. The least stable of all these buildings is going to be this building that is right over here, because if you apply some force on the top of this building, it is going to topple over pretty quickly as compared to this building. Although they have the certain center of masses at the same level, and in a previous video we actually talked about the relation of stability with the location of center of mass. If the center of mass is at a lower position, it is going to be more stable. Of course that works, but if the center of mass is at the same position, then we reveal another factor that affects the stability, which is the base area. If the base area of something is larger, it is going to be more stable. If the base area of something is smaller, it is going to be less stable. So this is another factor that is going to affect, right? So this building is having the largest of all, the highest of all center of masses, and is also having the lowest of all base areas. So it is going to be most susceptible to falling if you apply a little force on top of it, right? And what about the most stable of all these buildings? Looks like this cube and this pyramid or rectangle, sorry, pyramid or a triangle, are having their center of masses almost at the same height. But and you can actually, in fact, create another, box which is going to have the same, almost the center of mass almost at the same height and almost the same base area. But then triangle is again going to be more stable than this because the proportion of the base area to the top of the figure is also something that affects it, because if the base area is large and it is not as the area at the top is not as much, it only is having a small point at the top, but this has a whole surface at the top. So if the ratio of the base area to the top area is greater for an object, it is going to be more stable because it is going to tend to lower the center of mass even more. So although they appear to be almost at the same level, the center of mass of triangle is going to be a little bit less than or lower than the center of mass of this this cube or square, right? So my claim is that this triangle over here is going to be more stable. It is having the almost the largest of all base areas and lowest of all center of masses, right? So this is how we can calculate the stabilities of various objects or predict the stabilities of various objects depending upon their position of center of mass and their base areas.